Guys, welcome to the Angry BNB AMA. We have Mr. Sinatra and Moonman representing the team. Just a quick reminder, AMAs are never endorsements. They are a chance for my community to ask questions, and nothing you hear on this is financial advice. Guys, tell us about your project.
Perfect, yeah. So Angry BNB is a pretty cool concept. I don't know if you've got to play the game on the website or not, but it's really, really cool. A lot of these play-to-earn games they're really difficult, or like you're actually spending more money than you're earning, which really defeats the whole purpose, because you could go play regular video games and not have to spend so much money. Because most of these games, even if you're not breaking even or you're even breaking under, with ours we're actually doing it where it doesn't cost anything to play. You have to hold NFTs or tokens for different tiers. But we're doing a ranking system, so it's not like, hey, you have to give me $100 to play this game, and hopefully you'll make $600. It's actually you just have to hold part of the supply to actually play the games, which I really like, because it takes away from the factor of, I just spent $800 and I just made $600. I'm still negative $200. It's just a lot of people are paying so much money to play these games and actually earn in the space. And so that's what we wanted to make it a little different with our project, was giving you a chance to actually earn money without having to spend so much money to play.
Okay, so how do you earn money if you're not a holder exactly? Before we get into more details here, like, what are the tokenomics that fuel this? How do you guys pay for winnings? How do I make money for doing nothing? It's cool.
Okay, yeah, so on our first tier, again, I'm not sure if you've checked out the website. If you're in the AMA, you can go tab over to the website, and you scroll down a little bit. It says play Angry BNB. You go there, and then there's easy mode, normal mode, and then insane mode. So if you're on easy mode, it costs 50 cents to play. Like, you just have to hold 50 cents of our tokens. You don't have to spend tokens. You just have to connect your wallet, and that way it can see that you have 50 cents at least. And then you can play, and that one's for $100. So we have a leaderboard set up, and so every time you play, it ranks your score. And then at the end of the week, whoever has the highest score will actually get a automatic prize generated to their wallet of $100, which I think is pretty interesting. And then for the normal mode, that one we actually require you to hold an NFT. So one of our NFTs, it doesn't matter the rarity or anything like that. We want you to hold one NFT, and then if you play that mode, the reward is $300, and you can play that just for holding an NFT. And then for our insane mode, the payout is $600, and for that one, you have to hold 3 NFTs. But to counter that, we are actually doing a buy 2, get 1 free NFT special, just to kind of give you a little help, because we know that having 3 NFTs of a project is a little bit much. But at the same time, what we're trying to do with our NFTs is that we do have a very limited supply, and we will not be minting more. So what we're trying to do is cause a really, low supply, high demand, because if we do grow to 20 or 30 million market cap, people are going to want to be playing our game to actually rank, and they won't be able to, because we do require that you hold NFTs to actually rank. So those people who actually buy NFTs now, if we do grow to a 20 or 30 million market cap, and we have, hundreds and thousands of people playing, they're not going to be able to rank without the NFTs. So then it's going to make the NFTs actually high in demand to actually want to own them.
Yeah, and something I'll clarify on is our game will be free to play. It will always be free to play, but to rank on the leaderboard, you are required to hold, a small amount of the requirements. But, something that was really important to us starting out this project is we wanted to have everything ready, everything built, everything functionable before we even launched our Telegram, because, there's a lot of projects that say, the game is coming soon after pre-sale. That's not what we're about. We wanted to have everything ready. The leaderboard functions, the NFT marketplace is already ready. The NFTs are already built. Everything is ready to go. And another thing is we wanted to have, decent payouts, so it's worth time played in the game. Which is something, was really important to us.
Okay, and so just to make sure I understand, what I didn't get was, I'm taking notes here. So tier 1 pays out how much, and tier 2 pays out how much?
Tier 1 pays out $100. Tier 2 pays out $300.
And then tier 3 is $600. All right, so The cost of these NFTs, how much do I have to spend to get my 3 NFTs to be able to participate in tier 3?
So it's looking about 0.2 to 0.3 for the common NFTs, and then if you want to go up to higher, just real quick, something about the NFTs is they actually have different rarities, which will give them different abilities and different skills. And then probably about a month from now, you'll actually be able to level up your NFTs and upgrade them with different abilities, so you can actually score extra points and different accuracy ranges and stuff like that. So that being said, you can buy different rarities of NFTs. I think the tier system is like 0.2 for lowest, 0.4 for like average, and then 0.7 for medium, and then 1 BNB for the legendary. But those aren't the actual tiers. I think it's common, rare, epic, and legendary, or the 5 tier or the 4 tiers. But what you can do is you can actually buy different tiers, and they'll actually be better than the lower tiers. So there is incentive to buy the better ones. But that being said, even if you get a low one, you can upgrade it to be better and actually like be worth more, because you can sell it as it ranks up through the experience. Which that function is not live on the website yet, because that's actually a lot more coding and a lot more work than just putting together a game. And like Sinatra said, we did try to get everything done before we released the game. And so that's what we've been doing, is a lot of trial and error. We've actually had this whole thing built for about a month and a half now. We've just been back testing everything and making sure it all works, because we don't want it to launch and then have to be like, hey guys, we have a bug, so we have to pause, like nobody wants to deal with that. Right. So that's how that's going to work, is you can level your NFTs. But yeah, base pay, or the floor price, I think is 0.2 BNB for the lowest model, which it can still play the games, and it still counts as an NFT towards playing the insane mode. So essentially you could spend $200 and then you could earn 600 if you won.
Okay. So that would be, and you could do that multiple times though as well, right?
Yes. And you can play all 3 brackets, but you can only rank once, just to kind of make it fair for everybody. We don't want someone winning insane mode and then, going down a tier and winning normal mode.
So it's going to be weekly payouts. There's 3 different leaderboards, 3 different difficulties. So, a winner of insane mode can't win easy peasy that week. So there's going to be a total of 3 winners each week. So it does have a large level of, being competitive, etc. Because there's some people that specifically like, playing a game that's easier. And then there's a large demographic of people that, like the challenge, which insane mode is very difficult. We made that so, people have a challenge, and they also get paid out a good reward if they do rank on that leaderboard.
Interesting. All right. And how are you guys paying for these prize pools exactly? Where's the money coming from?
So the money is going to come from a treasury. So it's going to be a large amount of money put into a treasury, also volume based, and also money out of NFTs.
Okay, so volume based, how much of your transactions go to these? So like, just give me the tokenomics of the coin. Where are the taxes going, and how is all this being circulated around?
Yeah, of course, man. So we got a 1 trillion total supply. The total tax is 12%. So we have 3% going to marketing, 3% going to dev and the treasury, 2% auto liquidity, and 4% reflections, which is going to be an auto payout back to the holders.
Okay, so we got total supply 1 trillion, 12% total tax, 3% marketing, 3% dev, and then I lost you. One more time.
2% auto liquidity, and then 4% reflections.
Okay, and 4% reflections. So to make sure I understand, the marketing fee is going to be paying the treasury and the prize pools.
Yes.
Okay, awesome. So how big is this team that has put together this game with the treasury, with the prize pool, and how did you guys raise the funds up to this point?
So we're about 6-man team. In total, we're probably about 10 to 15, but our core team is about 6. That includes our designers, our website, and all that. We kept everyone on the team just because if we ever have any issues, we wanted to be able to reach out to them and say, hey, can you fix this? One of my favorite things about being here is we actually get to customize our NFTs. So we actually got to help the team build all the NFTs and design the legendaries and stuff. So that was a really fun experience. The way we came up with the funds is actually I guess he's a good friend of ours, but I don't really know what his role would be here. He has been wanting to do a BSC project for a long time, and so I've been a marketer for about 2 years, and Sinatra's been a marketer for about 2 years, and we've worked hundreds of projects. And he was like, hey, I want y'all to build this, and I want y'all to do the marketing and set it all up, and I will fund you guys. I'll give y'all a marketing budget, and I want you to bring my idea to life. And so that's how we came up with the funds. He's just a wealthy guy, and he wanted us to build his idea. It's something that we've all talked about, and finally he was like, let's pull the trigger on it. I want to bring this to life. I want to see this in the space. And so that's what I liked, is that we aren't really a volume-based project. We actually had a really large marketing wallet going into this. And one thing I really like is with the pre-sales, typically whenever you invest into a pre-sale and the team takes 30% or 40%, they split that between the team, and then they put like 5K back into marketing. Well, 5K does not go far in this space, especially not in these market conditions. So what we actually all agreed on is that we are not going to touch pre-sale funds. We're actually just going to put the full 30K back into marketing, which is awesome, because you typically don't see that with projects. We're actually taking zero profit from the pre-sale. We're just putting that all straight back into marketing, because our main goal is to make this thing grow as big as possible and get as well known as possible. So we realized with 30K, we could really, really push this thing. And we've already hit a lot of the bigger influencers. So we can start doing, press releases and stuff like that. And so that's where that's where all those funds are going to be going for the pre-sale.
Okay. And what about did you guys do a private to raise anything up to this point, or did you guys self-fund this?
Self-funding, 100%.
That is bullish, my friend. I'm happy to hear that. I see a lot of devs that won't put their money where their mouth is.
Yeah, I was very impressed as well. Like I said, when he offered it, I was like, holy cow, no private sale. That means there's going to be no massive dumping, because that's what I hate is like I said, I've been a marketer, so I've worked hundreds of projects. And you see a big issue with that is whenever they're like, hey, my buddy wants in for, 2 BNB, but he says he's not going to sell. And then his buddy sells, sells for a 5X for 10 BNB. And then you're like, what the hell, dude? That's such a huge hit. So I actually really do like the idea that we're not doing a private. It'll be strictly just pre-sale.
All right, let's talk about your pre-sale, man. What are you guys listing on? What is the amount you're looking to raise? Soft cap, hard cap, all that fun stuff. When can we see it?
So it is actually live on Pink Cell currently. Our audit badge and KYC badge is on there. We're raising 300 BNB. Soft cap is 150. Originally we were going to go with 200 BNB, but we decided to go with 300 BNB because of the market conditions and for CMC and CoinGecko listings. Apparently 300 is the sweet spot. So lower, I personally like because of buying pressure. But with how much marketing stuff we're putting into this, we're not we're not worried about that, especially because we're taking that 30K and putting it right back into marketing. But yeah, we went with 300 BNB because we've chatted, and we did so much research before this, and we talked with hundreds of devs, and everyone agrees that 300's just a really sweet spot for liquidity and for getting listed on exchanges and stuff. And we've been pushing a lot of partnerships with exchanges and other large tokens. And they all were like, hey, you got to have this in liquidity and you got to have this in volume. So it's a big factor in why we chose that. It's just because it kind of competes with what everybody needs us to have to get listed there.
Yeah, I hear that. All right, so you guys are going to raise, I'm looking at the pre-sale link right now. Sorry, just going over your tokenomics. So you guys plan on raising the 300 BNB. It starts in a day in 18 hours. You guys are doing a total of 60% to liquidity, so it's 180 BNB to liquidity, meaning at this market cap, you're looking at about 90,000 in lick, correct?
Yes.
All right, so your starting market cap would be around 900?
I think it's
did you say the initial market cap?
Yeah, what would that be?
Around 300.
Oh, it actually said on Pixel. Forgive me. Yeah, 321 is what it's listing. All right, talk to me about your token allocation. So I see your pre-sale is getting 15%, liquidity is getting 7.5. Then you have a huge 53% locked and 24% unlocked.
Yes. So the 24% unlocked. So we went ahead and locked majority of the tokens just to give everyone peace of mind, and like, hey, like we are locking these tokens. They're not going to be floating in the space, because I've seen that, and it's really scary when they unlock and then you see a huge sell, So we did lock them. The 23% is going to be split between team members, and then I think it's only like 12% going back to the whole team of all 6. And then what we're going to do is we're actually going to relock the rest. We just left it unlocked in case there was any exchanges or anywhere else we had to put tokens and we didn't have it like written down. So they will be locked. We just want to make sure that we have extra tokens out just in case we need them for certain like partnerships or anything like that.
Okay. And that kind of brings me to the next question. Do you guys have any plans for like centralized exchanges or things along those lines? I know your taxation model is a little bit different. Have you guys looked into that yet?
The taxation?
Yeah, 12% can be a little bit hard on some of them, depending.
So the person who donated the money to our funding, he's really close with FEG, and so we're actually having a meeting with them, and we're going to see if we can get listed there. We also just got I haven't read all the messages, so I'm not going to say it's a confirmed partnership. But we did talk with Elk Finance. I've worked there for many months, and so that's actually where I met the person who funded this. We're good friends. And apparently they're looking at maybe sponsoring us, so we might have 2. Now, they're not an exchange, but they are a huge platform, so that would be awesome.
Those are big platforms, man. Not bad. All right, let's talk about what's on everyone's mind, because we have a really fun market we're looking at right now. So what are your plans? And I'm asking every dev this at this point. What are your plans if things don't go as planned right now? So we're in a really precarious position, right? Bitcoin's hovering around 30. BNB keeps going above 300, below 300. And I have literally seen shitcoin charts, on-chain charts, move with the main nets for the past few days. Let's say you guys launch and the market's down. Do you have a backup plan for this pre-sale if it doesn't go as planned?
If we can't fill the soft cap?
Right.
Yeah, so basically, we're not too worried about that, but we have discussed it. We do have Caesar and Sully calling us tomorrow. And then we have a lot more. We're doing like a rehire list on everybody. So we're not too concerned about that. But if worse does come to worse, we would end up probably pushing it about a week or so until the market got a little bit better. And with that time, our person who donated did say he'd give us another $5K to put more marketing into it. If we needed to add in a little extra marketing to the whole plan. But that's worst comes to worst. We've had a lot of discussions about it. We've been watching the charts nonstop. Poor Luna. That's the biggest thing we've talked about, honestly. But yeah, so basically we're not too concerned about it, but if worst comes to worst, yes, we're not gonna cancel and just do a fair launch, because that never seems to work. So we'll be waiting if we need to, but I really don't think we're gonna need to. I think that we're gonna hit this pretty hard. We have 2 days. Hopefully BNB will be around 340, 350. Hopefully. And that would be insane. And yeah, I mean, we're not too concerned about it. I do know that the market conditions suck currently, but coins are still pumping, teams are still building, and people are still investing. And so that's just, the problem is if someone doesn't invest right now, and let's say we do fly up, they're going to have to buy at the all-time high, and that's just how it is, and I totally respect people not buying right now, and I respect people that do buy because there's just different types of investors. Some people buy dips, some people don't buy dips, and that's okay. That's part of whoever you want to be, and that's perfect. But yeah, we're not too concerned about it. If we don't fill it, of course, we are not just going to walk away from this project. We've spent so much money and time here. So yeah, it would probably just push it back a week or so if needed until the market kind of stabilized a little bit better.
Fair. All right. At least you guys thought through that. Okay. So you guys have a decent amount of marketing funds coming to you. I understand you're marketing for the pre-sale. What is the plan for marketing after the pre-sale?
So we're trying to push a lot of So I like going to influencers and stuff like that, but my biggest type of marketing is reaching out to like the general public, like billboards and like I don't know if you watched Shinja, but I used to work for Shinja in the first like before launch and after launch. And we talked about flying a plane over New York with a big banner on it. It's goofy, but it's so
Right.
cool, So I love that kind of stuff. So that's like what every time I talk to clients, I'm like, let's do that. So we're doing a lot of outsource. We're going to do billboards. We're going to do the banner. We're doing a lot of ads. So the problem with like a lot of like social media, like YouTube and Twitter and Instagram and stuff is you can't promote cryptos. Thankfully, we have a really cool game. And so we're actually going to be promoting our game all over the internet as just a game. And then, if people see Angry BNB, they'll kind of put two and two together and be like, oh, I wonder if this is, an investment. So we'll be promoting our game all over the internet with ads for Twitter, YouTube, Instagram. Outside of that, we are doing some press releases. We're doing a lot of we're trying to get some sponsorships for Twitch, not like from Twitch itself, but like Twitch players. Now we did look into it and they have like a no gambling policy, and we're kind of worried that playing leaderboards might be considered gambling. But we're trying to find a way around that. But yeah, our biggest thing is just we want to spread like a wildfire. With our pre-sale, we kind of kept it more solely in target these people. We know these guys work. We know these guys are good. Let's target these channels and these Twitter influencers and stuff like that. But after pre-sale, we want to spread like a wildfire to everybody. We want to be all over the internet. We want to be everywhere you look. You're just like, dude, I can't get away from this. Like, why are there so many birds? So that's what we want, is just Angry BNB everywhere. So that's mainly the goal, is just go ahead.
Yeah, something I'll add to that is I used to work for a marketing agency, and I have a lot of experience with Facebook ads, Instagram ads, YouTube ads, etc. So something that I'm going to be pushing on that side is some YouTube ads, some Twitter ads, and Coinzilla ads. I'm not sure if you guys know what that is, but it's basically ads all over the crypto platforms. We're also going to be listing on all the ICO websites beforehand and a lot of play-to-earn websites after. And we're also we're in contact with Travelod. We're pushing Caesar beforehand. We're going to try to push him after and get, a lot of the big influencers on board. Something else that's pretty cool, I'm not sure if you guys noticed, but we have a verified BCS scan profile. So we got our logo, socials, which is something you don't see very often before launch. Normally that takes 2 to 3 months to get a verified profile. So with that in hand, with the market, or with the pre-sale, with how much is going into liquidity, et cetera, and we have a 95% audit, we're pretty confident we're going to get on CMC and CoinGecko right after launch. And yeah, just to add some of that to Moon Man.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, love it. All right. Let me see what other questions I have. Oh, how do we get Whitelist for your project?
So for Whitelist, you can go to our website and you can sign up. It's just a little whitelist form you fill out. It's like your email. It doesn't have to be like your real name. If you don't feel comfortable with that, you can use an alias or whatever. And then your wallet address. And everybody will be added to the whitelist that way. And then we do have incentives. It's like a referral bonuses and stuff like that on there. And so you'll get your own personalized link. You can send those to friends and family or wherever you want. And if people click them, you will earn points towards like ranking up. And then I think the first 10 people get like 0.5 worth of tokens automatically sent to their wallets if you're in the top 10%.
Okay, great. So you actually get tokens for that. That's I haven't heard that yet. That's pretty cool. All right, let me see. Ooh, all right. I'm gonna look at my community's questions right now. We're right about where I usually need to shut up to give these guys time. Shimba has games like these are prone to hackers or cheaters. What security do you guys have against it? Do you guys have an audit for all the smart contracts?
Yes. So our game developer is actually this like insane game developer. He's most of his games are on the App Store. He sells his games on the App Store. He builds all these functions and stuff. He's really well known in the space. And it's cool because he reached out to our owner, or not owner, but like our person who gave us the funds. He is a mentor, and so this kid reached out and he was like, dude, like, you've been my mentor for a long time. I want to get into crypto. And he was like, well, cool, I want to get a game built. So we just had a nice little trade there. So we did do a bunch of functions. He's basically bulletproof the whole thing. There will not be any cheating or anything extra on there. Because I'm sorry, my throat's getting all gummy. Sorry about that. So yeah, basically it's bulletproof. He did a tons of testing, and the game took like 2 months to get finished. He had it all coded in the first month or the first week, but he had to go through and make sure everything worked. And then I think the hardest thing was adding the leaderboard, because there was a lot that went into it. So make sure people couldn't actually get in there and change numbers and stuff like that. So yes, we do have it pretty secure.
Okay, that's fair. And let's see. Are you guys opening to increasing the amount of NFTs you guys are making so that people down the road, so it wouldn't limit the amount of users that can play the game and jump on leaderboards?
Not currently. Mainly just because, so most of the team, we agree that NFTs, they're cool, but like even with use case, they don't have a huge use case towards value, you know? But something like this, if we did grow massive and everybody wanted to play the game and rank and stuff, you would have to buy our NFTs. So let's say the first 1,000 people bought up all the NFTs, and then they ranked them up, and because there's gonna be an experience bar, so they ranked them up and they grow them to whatever level max level is. And then these new guys come in, they're like, dude, I want to play for money. Like, this game's really good. I've been practicing. I think I can make $600. Well, hey, I'll buy your NFT from you for $400. Well, now you just made a $300 profit on an NFT. So I think it keeps your NFTs having an actual value, and actually having a reason to buy them, because they should have a really good resale value. So that's why we're not going to mint more right now. But later on down the line, if it's a huge issue in the community and people are like, dude, this isn't fair. If there's, let's say we have like 50,000 people trying to play the game, then yes, we probably would mint more, just because it wouldn't be fair, because then people could really corner, how much they're selling the NFTs for. And I don't think that would be very fun, especially not for a BSC NFT. So if it got to the point where it was unfair to the community, yes, we would definitely change it. But for the first couple months, we're going to keep it at 1,000. That way the community, if they do buy them, they can resell them for higher than what they paid. So it gives them incentive to buy them, and it gives them incentive to hold them. So we won't be minting any for a while.
Something we are going to be implementing for the longevity of the project is we're going to allow NFT holders to rent out their NFTs to players, and so they don't have to sell them if they don't want to. They can rent it out so they can play. That is something that we're also looking at doing.
I think rentals would be super bullish. I love you guys' thoughts on the value of the actual NFTs. But I'm sorry, Douches, I'm going to mute you, buddy. And Aldi, I'm going to put you on mute, man. Your mics are giving us some noise. I love the consideration to value. Like, we want NFTs to actually be worth money. But at the same time, you guys want everyone to play your game. So I think rentals would be great. All right. Let's go to the next one here. So let's see. Well, Handoko loves the look of your game. So does Shimba. Okay. If you guys would like to answer Sinatra's question, just because I think they were a little bit late, they would like to know how the prize pools and all those things are funded.
Yes. So it's going to be through the dev wallet and then the treasury. So percentage will go back to that, and then all the payouts will be done through there. We'll also, I forgot to mention, we will be doing a monthly competition. So let's say like someone wins twice in a row. We are going to have a cap on how many times someone could win a month, because it's not fair that someone just keeps cornering first place. Granted, we're not going to do it like you win once, you can't win again for the month. We'll probably do 2 times, just because that way it's worth your time. But we will have a monthly payout. So let's say the top players in each bracket, let's say it's 4 different people each month. We're going to let them compete against each other and actually compete for like $1,000 or something like that. But we're going to see who's the best of the top 4 players. So I think it'll be really cool in that way. But I just wanted to add that because that was part of the thing I wanted to say with the leaderboard.
So right off the bat, we're going to be putting funds aside for that specific allocation. For winners, we'll be putting a small portion of pre-sale towards that. It will also be volume based, and then with the taxes as well.
Awesome. All right, all right. Let's
Can
see
I ask my
who.
question now?
You may not, buddy. I'll let you know when we get to the VC.
Okay, thanks, man.
You're welcome, buddy.
So you
Hold on,
said
I'm sorry,
you're
but we're currently doing the questions in the text section. I will unmute you when we get to the VC questions. They're coming. We just have a lot in the text section right now, man. Okay, let's see. Oh, a few people are playing your game. This is an interesting question just because of the nature of what you're using your NFTs for. But do you guys ever plan on introducing NFT staking?
Not currently, but we have discussed it. We want to master what we're good at and what we're pushing. And then, yes, we do plan on adopting staking and stuff like that and actually hosting other NFTs on our platform. But for right now, we just want to target, because once teams get too spread out, it just never looks good whenever they're like, dude, we're doing 1,000 things, and then they're not
Yeah,
getting
when you have multiple utilities and you're not focusing 100% on one thing, then it starts losing its effect. So we definitely want to master our one utility.
Yeah, it's jack of all trades, master of none, for sure. Okay. Purple, I'm sorry, I don't understand your question. If you want to ask it in VC in a few minutes, you are more than welcome to. Goody Two Shoes, we answered that question in quite detail. Okay, good question here. We've got Buter Pivo would like to know how many whitelists are going to be available.
We're trying to do as many as possible. That's why we left it open to the public, just because we want everybody to get into whitelist. I get whitelist is supposed to be like exclusive, but honestly, how big whitelists have got, I've worked a lot of projects, and the whitelist are like 500 or 900 people with the 200 BNB hard cap.
Right.
It's not fair, but the problem is a lot of people sign up for whitelist and then they never come back. And so we didn't want people taking spots that weren't going to use them. So we did leave it open to the public. So we don't really have a cap on our whitelist. It's going to be anyone can get onto whitelist all the way up until launch. And then at launch, if your lot's not on the whitelist, then you won't get in, of course. But if you sign up now on the whitelist, you can get in. And then at launch, you'll be able to buy in. There'll probably be about 400 other people trying to buy in. But those are just kind of broad numbers. You know how these guys go. They sign up and then they forget, or you do giveaways for NFT for the whitelist and then they forget. So, yeah, there won't be like a cap on it, but just assume that most of them won't attend. So if you do sign up now, you will be guaranteed a spot on the whitelist. But essentially, whitelist is just a waiting place.
Right, and I like that a lot too. People who try to undervalue their whitelist don't fill caps. It goes public, and then we get bots. I like that a lot. All right, let's see.
And it was another way for us to try to keep snipers out. We do have an anti-sniper function, but you know how that goes. I mean, it's really hard to actually catch every sniper. So we're actually going to turn off, you can join the whitelist at pre-sale. So people who get in like right before we launch, they won't be able to buy until pre-sale's done or until whitelist is done. So it just kind of gives whitelist a better advantage.
I got you. All right. All right, Mr. Musk, you have some good questions here. I'm going to kind of pick and choose them because I feel like a lot of them were answered. So does this project have a max wallet? We'll start with that.
No, so we didn't add a anti-well feature solely for the purpose of we didn't want to limit what people could buy. Just because I've seen a lot of FUD about that when people are like, dude, what the heck? Like, that's not fair that I can't buy in. So we didn't add an anti-max buy or sell, just because we didn't want to limit what people could do within their rights, or not within their rights, but like within the space,
Yeah, and this is something we discussed a lot because we understand that a whale function protects the project somewhat, but the problem is restricting investors. It costs a lot. It causes a lot of FUD, but also if you bought 1,000 Tesla shares and you can only sell 100, we don't think it's that fair to investors to restrict them.
I think as long as you have a good enough starting market cap, which you guys will, that's healthy. It is a financial asset. Okay. Any plan for cross-chain partnerships? And do you guys have any plans for in-game advertisement partnerships?
Yes, actually we do. For in-game, I'm not sure on, because personally we're all pretty like down to earth people, and we kind of hate, ads, getting interrupted by ads, like where you have to watch a 30-second video per game. So we might not add those because that's always a downer. But cross-chain platforms, yes. So we have talked about doing different bridges. I'm not sure if you're familiar with Elk, but they do cross-chain, I think like over like 30 different chains now. And they are very entertained and very addicted to our game, which is super funny. I was actually reading our messages, and he was like, dude, I was in a meeting with Elk, and I passingly said, I brought up Angry BNB, and then all of them were just sitting there playing the game instead of like talking during the meeting, which is hilarious, which those guys are great. I've worked with them. I don't know if you guys know them, but Elk are really cool. But that would be a cross-platform there. And we have talked about bridging to Crow and, maybe Ethereum as well. So then we would be branching to different exchanges and stuff like that when the time comes.
I haven't seen a huge amount of games that actually let you play with multiple currencies. That'd be very cool.
I think it would be awesome.
Okay. Moss, I got it. Alam. Okay, let's ask Alam's question. Will the game be available in the app and Google Play Store?
Yes. So for right now, it's solely just like a browser app, so you can play it on your phone and your computer. We are going to add it to the App Store and the Google Play Store, but that's going to be, that's going to be probably about a month out or 2 months out. But it is on our roadmap to try to achieve that within the month.
Awesome. Do you guys plan on doing any other games after this? Do you have anything else in development?
Yes, we have a ton. Actually, that's what kind of prompted the idea for this was, so me and Sinatra have worked together for years. Like that's kind of our thing. We work on a lot of big projects, and we've always wanted to build a crypto arcade. We thought it'd be really fun. And so one day I was talking to my friend, the one who's, funded this, and he was like, dude, I want to build an arcade as well. Well, then we realized that's a big thing to take on without having experience in the play-to-earn space. Now, I've marketed for a lot of play-to-earns, but I'm not too familiar with how they actually work. And so we agreed that we'd do a smaller game and then maybe another game, and then we would do the arcade. So yes, we do have plans for games. The other one's actually in the works. I can't announce it yet because it's not up to our where we would like it to be. But yes, we do plan on launching more games and actually integrating this into a giant arcade.
Cool. That sounds like fun. If they're all P2E too, that'd be really nice.
Yes, and they will all be you can actually earn on them rather than having to play or pay to play. It'll be just, hold and earn.
Pay to earn versus pay to play is way cooler. I've seen a few coins launch with like you guys were saying about multiple utilities. I've seen them launch with 4 or 5 games and that not go great. But once you have an audience built up, adding new games I think is a phenomenal idea.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah,
okay, here's
something similar. Go ahead.
After you.
Yeah, no, I was just going to say, I'm not sure if you guys know anything about Gala Games, but it's similar. What Gala Games does is, they create a game and then they master it. And, once everything's functionable and ready to go, that's when they work on their second game. But I think it's really important to master something first instead of just throw everything in a bucket, type thing.
I really respect that about what you guys got going on this project. You seem to have a clear vision and are moving through it well. That's great. What was my question? My question is, so looking at the game, I got to say, do you guys have any considerations for trademark infringement?
Yes, we definitely do. So that's why we avoid saying what it's similar to. We've gone through their entire legal documentations and stuff, and we are within our rights. Essentially that game that is in regards, they actually a ripoff of another game. Which is quite funny. It's a less popular game. But if you go on the App Store, there's hundreds of other games that are similar to this game with different names. We did change all the logos and the music and stuff, and we actually did a whole different coding. Like I said, our game developer is very well known. He did it, he followed everything to a very specific way so that we wouldn't have to worry about trademarks or any legal repercussions of this. So yes, we did 100% take that into account, which is so funny because I see tokens like SpongeBob token or
Right.
Family Guy token. And I'm like, dude, how the hell? Like, what? If somebody catches this, you're so screwed. So yes, we did a lot of research to make sure that we were within our legal limits of being safe.
I appreciate the due diligence. All right, let's see. All right, we're definitely ready to jump to the VC here. Guys in the VC, if you would like to speak, please ask now. Choose one of you. There is no way my Haven does not have questions in VC right now.
That's pretty new because actually Sam was out, so probably he's not.
Sam's not here, so that removes like 4 or 5 of them for sure. But no, that's a bullish signal. We're usually clamoring with questions here. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I will ask a last few that we have here in the chat section.
But can I ask probably just a simple one?
Yeah, sure, but go ahead.
Yeah, in any case that like of course we cannot always like predict the market, but in any case that it will like dip heavily. Do you have like anything like buyback mechanism or anything, something like that?
Yes, we'll be doing buyback and then buying competitions, as well as like with the NFTs, we'll be using those funds to kind of buy back as well to make sure that we stay stable.
Sure. Thank you so much, brother.
My pleasure.
Please, I would like to ask a question.
You're more than welcome to, my friend. Go ahead.
Okay, I want to ask if I am holding the Angry Bird token and holding the Angry Bird NFT will enable someone a higher chance of winning. Is that visible?
No. So we want it to be as fair as possible. So there's not going to be any like bonuses to holding them. I will say that if you level up your birds, whenever that is live, they will have a better chance at, let's say, I don't know if you play the game, but if you shoot at a bird, you might hit a piece of wood and it might not break it. But if you level up your NFT and it's stronger and it hits a piece of wood, it's going to break right through it and hit your target. So leveling them up does have an advantage, but holding them, like if you have $100,000 and someone has $3, you do both equally have the same chance of winning the grand prize. So yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. James. Hope that answered your question.
Can I ask a question?
You may, Mr. Moss. Go ahead.
Okay, so there's a series of questions. First is, what's the strategy for mass adoption? Basically, too much of P2E games are coming into the market, right? But there's one certain problem with every other game that's coming into P2E, like the problem for mass adoption. We need to connect our wallets, then we have to swap our tokens, then only we are going to play that game, right? So is there any strategy that you are going for, like making it launch on all the platforms, Mac, mobile, like having Facebook games, Facebook to have games option. So is there any strategy for going forward with that direction?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, after you.
I don't know if I fully understood that, but I can try to answer it the best of my abilities. Yes, so we're going to be on a lot of different platforms, of course. Right now, we're just on our website, but we will be doing the games and stuff like that. So the setting up your wallet function is really easy. It's going to ask for an email, your name, which you do not have to give even a real email. You can just give like an alt email, because a lot of people don't like things being associated to them, which is totally fine. That's why people are in this space, because they don't like to, give out their real name. That's totally fine. So basically it's gonna be your email, a name, and then your wallet. And so the way that works is we really only need that information so we can say, hey, like Junior Musk won this week, because that's what's going to show on our website. And then we need your email so we can send you email if we can't get a hold of you on Telegram or wherever you put your information to, and we can say, hey, dude, you have 48 hours to claim your $600, or we're going to have to re-raffle it off. So it's not a huge tedious process. It's going to be very simple. It's just 3 things you fill out, and then you can play, and then you only have to fill it out once. And I do think you have a login and a password you can set up as well, and it has an option to keep you logged in. So that's not live yet. That will be live whenever the tokens go out to people. We haven't made it live because there's really no point of having it on the website until people have tokens to actually trade. So yes, there will be different, it'll be really simple to set up. It's not going to be anything tedious.
If I heard your question correctly as well, I think you brought up how are we going to get adopted, what's different about us. One thing I wanted to pinpoint is our game is free to play. It will always be free to play. And another thing is it's already created. NFT Marketplace is already created. NFTs already created. Everything is already ready to go. And you can also play the game right now if you would like to. If you want to go to angrybnb.com, you can play the game. And I think you also asked how can it be adopted. Hopefully I heard your question properly. But both me and Moonman have both been in marketing for about 2-3 years. We have a lot of different networks. We're also setting up some partnerships. I don't think we can give out names yet out of respect to that. But we're also going to be pushing marketing and also pushing the advertisement of just our game by itself and listing on play to earn websites, etc. But the biggest point is everything's all ready to go. It's also a free to play game. It'll always be free to play. But if you want to raise on the leaderboards, you have to go ahead.
Yeah, I got your point. There's one more thing I like to suggest you guys is maybe it's in your plan. Is there any refer and earn feature? If I refer this game to 10 of my buddies, then I mint a certain amount of tokens or NFTs. Is there any kind of plan you're going with, or you just refer to earn or referral feature, something kind of that?
I'm sorry, I didn't understand that question.
If I refer this game, to 10 of my friends, so will I be able to earn anything referral NFTs or some in-game tokens?
Yes. We currently have, I believe you asked how can you invite your friends and do you get rewarded. We currently do have an affiliate program on our website. So right when you sign up for Whitelist, you will get your own link, and you will also be earning, I believe, 0.5 Angry BNB tokens before launch. But yeah, we're also going to be quickly adapting the affiliate program to different rewards, etc.
Okay, thank you. And this is one last question.
We're gonna let someone else ask a question, man. Thank you.
Just one thing I want to ask about the market. If we are going into this BNB thing, is there any plan on going for the stable?
Who else has a question, my friends? I'm sorry, Mr. Musk, you got a few in there, buddy. And I got some that I'd like to address in the rest of the voice chat here. Anybody else can jump in, or I have one typed up that I'd like to ask. Hello.
Can you hear me?
How are you, man? Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay, no problem. I have a question. Can I ask?
You may, yes.
Okay. My question is, currently, I see that crypto space is pilot with lots of play to earn to get NFT games. Everyone is definitely hunting for it. But the truth is that most of these projects don't have the exciting gameplay that gamers are looking for. Can you here convince the user of how Angry BNB is better and worth playing than every other NFT game out there? You get my question?
Yes, I do. Yeah, so of course our game is pretty simple. It's pretty cut and dry. It's not, Dungeons and Dragons or anything crazy. Yeah, so we do have the 4% back in BUSD rewards for everyone who's holding. So you do earn passive income just for holding. A little bit of background on who's on the team. So me personally, I've worked some crazy projects. I've worked Hive, Streamer, Elk, Shinja, Massive Indie. I've worked a lot of huge projects. We are partnered with a lot of big projects like Meme Makers, and possibly Elk and stuff like that. So there's a lot more to us than just the game. The game is just a cool incentive because a lot of people like to play and earn. And that's why we wanted our NFTs to actually have a value and a growth value, because let's say you buy an NFT, but you don't want to play the game. Well, someone's going to come along that wants to play that game, and you can turn around and sell the NFT for triple or quadruple what you paid for it. And especially if we go super large, then you have some of the original NFTs we ever built. They're going to be worth way more. So it's more of just like an investment thing. Now, the game is there because it's cool and we enjoy the games and we think it's a really cool concept. But our entire project, it's still an investment. It's not like, some games you have to buy. You have to spend $2,000 in getting all the stuff you need to play the game. Ours isn't like that. You could spend $1 and you can play our game. You can play our game for free. You could spend, $100 on an NFT and then you could rank and stuff like that. But it's more of an investment, and that's why we wanted our NFTs to be so special and have an actual use case and be able to level, because you could sit there and grind out leveling time, and then you could turn around and say NFTs for more. So that was the whole goal. Is we're not just a game-based project, Our team is very experienced. Like Sinatra, he's worked tons of huge projects. He's been co-dev on a lot of stuff, and so he's just really well educated in the space. So that's what we took. Like I said, we spent a lot of time before actually making this, and we sat down and we put together what we want, And at first it was just a game base, We're like, dude, we're gonna build this game. People are gonna play the game. They're gonna love it. But then we realized, like, what about people that don't play games? They're not gonna want to buy. What about people who don't play this type of game? They're not going to buy. So we added other things in there, different factors to try to encourage every type of investor to get in. And that's why we have talked about doing staking, because people love passive income. And that's why we decided rewarding BUSD, because we want people to be able to put a BNB or 2 BNB down on this and then not look at it for a month. And they'll still get rewards on top of whatever their growth is. So it's all passive. They're not having to sell highs and buy dips. They can just put it in there and leave it. So yeah, we definitely have other things into play, like partnerships and exchanges and listings and stuff like that, to actually encourage everyone to come try it out, even if gaming is not your sole purpose of being in this space.
Yeah, something else I'll add to that is, the bullet points of the game is, the game is already out, it's already created, ready to play. But the fun thing about it is it's really simple, it's fun, and we go into the arena to target, the demographic of people that are competitive and people that are not. So the game as a whole is simple, it's also very rewarding, but we got people that are less competitive, and we're going to have challenges for people that are really competitive, those 10, 15 people that can rank on a leaderboard all by themselves so they can compete with each other. But it's simple, it's fun, and the NFTs are going to have utility, so you can rank up, you can last thing I'll add to that is part of our team, we do have the game developer on our team, so we're going to improve and increase different levels, the difficulties, enemies, towers, landscapes, etc. So we're going to keep pushing at the game and keep improving the looks of it and how it functions, etc.
Awesome project. Thank you for answer. Thank you, Achilles.
Thank you, Wayu. Happy you got the chance to speak this time, man. Absolutely. All right, guys, we are just about at the end of the recording time here. If you'd like to say anything, to close off, Moonman, Sinatra, this is your chance.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for tuning in. I really do appreciate it. Feel free to come check out the project. I would like to say I'm sorry if I was all over the place. I did not get a lot of sleep last night, so a little bit of a scrambled brain. But I hope we covered everything. If we did not, please feel free to come to our channel and ask questions. If we have enough questions, we'll host an AMA there. But it was a pleasure getting to speak to you guys. Thank you all for the questions. I actually was reading the chats as it was going, and it was really cool seeing what you guys are playing the game and actually asking genuine questions. We've done a lot of AMAs, and we don't typically get that type of engagement. So it's awesome, Most AMAs are botted. Clearly, you guys are not, so that's really cool. I do appreciate you guys having us, and I hope you guys learned something. And again, if you would like to check out our project, you can go to our Telegram. I think it's linked in the description of the post, and then you can ask questions, and we'll answer everything there that if it didn't get answered during the AMA.
No, thank you guys for being so thorough. Oh, please go ahead.
Yeah, the last thing I'll add is we are having our pre-sale on Pink Sale the 15th at 1 p.m. UTC. And I think that's the last thing we'll add. I think we're doing an AMA as well today. I think we got a Caesar AMA.
He pushed it tomorrow. He pushed it till tomorrow. His host couldn't be there.
Okay, even better. That's closer to launch. Even better.
I was going to call
we're
you
going to be
having
having
an
AMA today, and it was a pleasure being here. Thanks a lot for having us.
Thank you guys for being here. And I do believe we answered every question except for your last one, Mr. Musk. Any additional ones, man, hop in their TG and ask them up. These guys seem to be quite willing to answer anything we got. All right. I'm going to end the recording.